It was like my mind took me on a tailspin, and I would start typing my website, the text, and I'm just literally there typing away, and I felt like I was about to jump off a plane. Have you ever felt that way where you have so much resistance when you are pursuing what you want? When you have a big desire, you are working towards it, and yet something inside of you just holds you back? That's how I felt when I started working on my business. When I started working on my own website, I would sit there and it would feel like I was about to jump off a plane. My name is Karen, and I'm the founder of Light Makers, your community for all things mindset, manifestation, and online business. We help you create passive income so you can have more fun, freedom, and flexibility in your life. And we infuse everything with subconscious reprogramming so that you create your business in the easiest, most effortless way possible. Literally, they're just at my computer typing. This phenomenon of having your fears and doubts come up as you're working towards your goal. This is explained by a lot of thought leaders in different ways. Joe Dispenza calls it crossing the river. Bob Proctor says it's the terror barrier. And honestly, I don't want to diminish that this can feel very scary, but I want to start to reframe all of this and start calling it something that is exciting, right? So to me, this terror barrier, crossing the chasm, it is the zone of opportunity, because it is when we are in our discomfort zone that we are doing something new, that we are growing, and we get to experience more of ourselves. In this video, I'm going to go over reframing, which will help you release resistance, which will help make doing new things less scary. It'll feel less scary because you understand what is going on within yourself, and you have a system to move through that fear. This is extremely important because anybody that has ever done something new in their lives they've had to systematically move through fears, because we all have them. I know I had them when I was sitting there typing away at my computer trying to build my online business. I would have the fear come up within me, and it would feel so scary. So now that I'm on the other side of at least that piece, and don't get me wrong, I'm always going to have new and bigger fears coming up. I face them every single day. I have started to reframe them in a way that really serves and empowers me. There was a study on Olympic swimmers, and they surveyed Olympic swimmers and regular swimmers. What was really interesting was that both the Olympic swimmers and regular swimmers, they felt anxiety in their body right before a competition. So they were standing there, they were about to jump in the water, they all felt the same anxiety. The difference was that many of the high performing Olympic swimmers, they framed in their minds and in their bodies the fact that feeling anxious like that is a good thing, because they are where they want to be. They wouldn't feel that way if they weren't challenging themselves. The same thing with entrepreneurs. A lot of times, especially when your business is growing and you're taking on new clients, you're feeling that feeling of discomfort because things are changing so rapidly. That can feel very difficult to move through. But if you change it within yourself and code it differently within yourself, then you are going to enjoy more of the process. It's going to help you stabilize your nervous system, and that has shown, Joe Dispenza, for example, has done a ton of research on this, that the more we are in a relaxed state, the more access we have to our higher level functioning, to our executive functioning. There are numerous studies on Google Scholar, for example, on the changes in the brain that happen when you are in a more relaxed state. It means that you have access to higher level strategic thinking, which makes everything easier. You're not acting from a place of survival, where that is when you're telling yourself that, oh, this is scary, this is something too overwhelming. Your body is going to go into more of a state of fight or flight. The more that we can understand ourselves, understand our thoughts, and be able to reframe them all, then the more we're going to be in control of our state, of how we feel despite anything coming our way. I'm going to walk you through a simple process to be able to start reframing any situation and get through this terror barrier, aka, as I like to call it, zone of opportunity. Here's an example of usually what happens when people are doing something new. So, in the case of me creating a website, at one point I was right here and I didn't even know I could create a business that was outside of my consciousness. Eventually, I got to over here where I realized, yeah, I could do this. This is possible. Let other people have done it. Why not me? Why can't I do it? And then when I started to build my website, then so I get over to this stage, I would literally come up against my resistance, right? And resistance can take shape in many different ways. Basically, here is you with your goal, and anything that stands between the way of you and your goal is that resistance. So how do you begin to dissolve that resistance? This is a very powerful tool to do that. First, being aware of this already is going to help you dissolve this resistance. Here you have thoughts coming in to your body, and then if those are negative thoughts, like I don't like to do social media, this is so boring, then it's going to cause resistance, more resistance in your body. And so how do you break that cycle, right? First, you have to be aware that this is happening. So by you being on this channel, by you listening to this, you're becoming aware of this in general. You could already tell yourself and start changing those thoughts into thoughts that are empowering to you, right? This is not to diminish the thoughts that we have. The realities that we are experiencing are real, right? Life can be really tough. Once we start to realize that our thoughts are having such a big impact in how we feel and then what we can do and how we experience our lives, we are going to want to change them simply because it feels good to feel good, in my opinion. You don't have to feel any kind of way. You can feel however you want. There are days where I literally just spend the whole day crying because that's what I need to do in the moment, and that helps me heal. That's my process. Journaling, EFT, hypnotherapy, crying, talking to a friend, just getting it all out and processing it is very helpful to me, especially in situations like this where there is something I want to do, but there's something holding me back, right? I want to dissolve that. I want to understand that. I don't want anything outside of me to control how I feel. I want to be a master of my own inner state. So you start to change those thoughts, and then now maybe you are seeing things in a different way. So one of the tools that you can use is reframing, and that's simply changing a thought that you have into something empowering to you. For example, if it's social media, when you're first starting out as a new entrepreneur or you're doing something new, you post something and you may only get 1 like, 2 likes, 3 people responding, or maybe only have a handful of people in your group. And you start to think to yourself, oh, I only have 3 likes on this post. I like to reframe it and think of each one of those people as my friend, as my sister, as my brother, as somebody that I love dearly, and I get so happy that I get to help that person out. If you have 10 people that like your post and you're thinking, oh, that's only 10 people, it's not a lot, etc., you can think about those people in a room at a dinner with you, talking to you. That's a lot of people, right? Even one person is a whole world, it's a whole universe. So it's super helpful to start to be aware of the thoughts that are causing you to feel a certain way inside of your body and really start to systematically reframe them. I teach this in the Consistent Manifestation Breakthrough Formula, the best, most amazing mindset and manifestation course. It is created specifically to create anything in your life, but I made it with entrepreneurs in mind because I know that we are constantly facing different challenges, and it is so helpful to have different tools in your toolkit. I don't know when you're going to employ them, but I am giving you the tools so that you can start to dismantle this terror barrier completely. And guess what? As soon as you continue to master this, then you are going to be free. You are unstoppable forever. So this takes me back to dismantling this terror barrier, right? One of the tools, instead of R for resistance, we're going to use reframing as one of our tools, right? In the case of me creating a website, when I would get frustrated with any of the programs, I would say, this is great. This is taking me closer towards my goal. I love learning new things. I love learning this content. When I faced my terror barrier creating content, I would say, this is great. You know what? Everybody starts off somewhere. And even if I don't have a fancy background, even if I don't have all the fancy equipment, I am learning something. I'm learning a new skill, and I love that. And even if I could only help one person, then I am so happy that I get to do that. So you see, you start changing each one of those thoughts into something that serves you. And guess what happens then? You are moved towards your goal. You are free. And this is the best part that I really don't want you to miss at all, because it is so important. It is that feeling of freedom that you get when you have your goal. That is really what we're looking for. And yes, it's nice to have all the other things, right? I love being able to see progress in my business. I especially love seeing success in my clients. That is the number one thing that provides me the most fulfillment. And also, you really start to understand yourself so that nothing holds you back, because this creates a butterfly effect in your life, right? You learning how to dismantle this kind of terror barrier within yourself and reframing it into a zone of opportunity is going to last you a lifetime. This is an instance that you get to practice this kind of skill, and it is going to last you forever. And guess what? Even more, because you are learning this, you are leading by example. You are leading by example with your community, with your family, with your kids, with your loved ones, with everyone around you that is watching, whether or not. And by you leading by example, that is how we are going to change the world. That is why you are a light maker. Because if I can help you and you can help other people and those people can help other people, that is going to create an amazing catalyst of change throughout the world. It is a ripple effect of change. So by you watching this is already creating a change in your life. And guess what? If you enroll in the Consistent Manifestation Breakthrough Formula and the Consistent Client Formula, which is on special right now, 2 for 1, buy one, get one free, you are going to accelerate your results even more. And you're going to have the results to show other people, and you are going to motivate other people in a way that you don't even know. And you're going to have all the freedom, the fulfillment, the goal, the happiness that you are seeking, that you think the goal is going to get you, but in fact, you already have right now. This is going to be you. Definitely enroll today. It is the best course ever, and I am with you every step of the way. I know you have the power to do this. I believe in you. I cannot wait to see what you will create and see you on the inside.